I mean, that's the beauty of being small, independent, because if you need to juke, you can juke quick and you can
You don't have to ask for permission.
exactly. I mean, that's the joy of it being your own, maybe a franchise is you don't have to, like, if you need to juke and be like, this is what we're going to do. I'm the only person that's to deal with it.
Welcome to the Coffee Experts Club, where we discuss all of the insights, expertise, and drama that goes into making your passion your profession. Our hosts, Aaron, Ben, and Drew, are three coffee experts who have taken their coffee experience and turned it into true expertise. They have consulted with major coffee brands throughout the United States and beyond, providing operations expertise and growth strategy for drive-thru openings, multiple locations, and everything in between. So brew yourself a cup and hang out a bit with the Coffee Experts Club.
Gentlemen, you look to be in quite the nice place right now. This place is insane. I come in. He's being modest about it. I've worked in so many coffee shops, and this is probably one of the most well thought out setups that I've ever had the pleasure of working on. So why don't you give us some introductions for people who might not know who you guys are?
So I'm Drew. Nice to meet you. This right here is Jonathan Maiers. Maiers. He's the mastermind behind Coffee Republic. Him and his family, they do a really good job. They moved up here to Montana to start something new and spearhead this project. I've had the pleasure of being in here for the last few days. It's been a really pleasant experience.
Super helpful. Been many years since I've had to do it from the beginning and the get-go. Having Drew helping trade and keep things rolling.
When's your guys' opening day? Do you have that set in stone yet?
Yep, August 26th. Yes, we're opening up free drinks all day long.
That's gonna be crazy. Did Drew talk you into that, or is that something?
No, it's something we've done before.
Nice.
The company we're a part of in the past, and it just seems to work really well.
Yep.
Really drive traffic in the first day, and hopefully change people's morning routines daily.
How long have you been in the coffee industry, Jonathan? I mean,
I started in 2010.
Okay, so a while. So you know what you're doing.
San Diego area. I'd like to think so. Learning some things from Drew. Did it one way really for 12 years. And it's nice to have somebody come in with kind of outside look on things and teach me a little bit too.
That's awesome. So what's your week of deals? I think I saw something, but I can't remember. You're doing free drinks, grand opening, and then what are you following that up with?
Then we're followed up next day, buy one, get ones.
Nice.
And then we're doing the next day is t-shirts to the first 100, then cups, tumblers to the first 100 the next day. And finally on Tuesday, I think it's Tuesday, 5th day. Yeah. Tuesday, we'll do kind of a random giveaway. We've got like koozies, bracelets, stickers. Just kind of randomly all throughout the day, get in and out.
It's funny to talk about the deals with Jonathan because I have personal experience. I mean, Ben too. Me and Ben, and I mean, Ben scheduled me by myself on the t-shirt day because he wouldn't, they're going to be all that crazy. So I think I was supposed to be there for about an hour by myself. And I got there and it was packed out. I mean, we worked in a cafe, so there was tons of both sides.
Yeah.
I called Ben, woke him up on his birthday, had him come help me. We're expecting some really good turnout here. But there's really nothing like this up here as far as what I've, heard and seen.
Quite. Yeah.
It's a pretty unique concept. And most of the baristas that we have here are actually really, really talented. Not to knock my old baristas, but these kids are the next level thing. So I've been working with them for the last few days and really competent, really quick. They ask really good questions, picking things up fast.
Yep. Got fortunate. Very blessed. Surprisingly, from what I've heard from everybody else here, it's been a hard market to get employees in right now. And
oh yeah, for sure. I'm curious, how did you guys work out training? Have you had the building done for a while and you've just been training inside the location now? Or are you training at an outside area?
Drew came last Friday and we started day one on Monday.
Wow. Nice. That's cool. And you guys are in Great Falls, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Great Falls. I can't say I've been there.
It's amazing this time of year. I hear some stories about the winter times, but it's paradise right now.
That's awesome. So when it comes to competitors, is it just mainly Starbucks there, a couple mom and shops? Like what is the coffee scene in Great Falls?
Yeah, mostly Starbucks, and there's a couple of drive-thru shops. There's another kind of corporate store called City Brew. They're basically a carbon copy of Starbucks.
Gotcha.
Menus are identical. Their logos are pretty close. That's about it. But nobody's doing fast, friendly, consistent.
Let's say, so you guys really have room to kind of niche into the industry. I mean, because the minute you open up a Starbucks competitor that's actually good, people ditch that so fast.
Yeah, the kind of new wave drive-through coffee culture is not here yet, and we're hoping to bring it here.
Is that why you picked Great Falls ahead of the curves?
No, actually, my little brothers lived up here for a few years, and when we sold our 2 stores we had in California, we decided we didn't want to be there anymore, and thought, just let's go move up by Matthew. I'd only been here once before that.
Wow.
And went through our first winter this year. So pretty different than what we had for the last 10, 12 years. Had a lot of fun though. It's different. Never a huge Southern California guy anyway.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about this, and I've only ever driven through Montana before, so I'm not incredibly well versed in the state, especially compared to Southern California. They're about 15 years ahead of anything here. Some of these coffee shops, there's not really espresso machines, and I'm not going to name drop any coffee shops. Some of them, they'll come to the window and there's just the one person who's writing down the order on a sticky note, and they'll make your whole order themselves. So there's a little bit of a difference in culture. And
no flow.
There's no flow. And I was training these, and I was talking to them about the type of coffee that we do or industry that we're in. And, talking about some of the bigger players in the game. And one girl said she hadn't even heard of Dutch Bros until a year ago, maybe 6 months ago. They're a little bit behind here. And this location is absolutely amazing. We got 40,000 cars a day driving right by here.
Busiest street in Montana.
That's great. Especially here in Tri-Cities where we are. It's like, if you want to start a coffee shop, you got to stand out.
Oh yeah.
And they just like wither, but
lots of big time competitors there.
Oh yeah. And you guys are coming in, obviously you've got your previous years of experience. You got Drew on the ground. I mean, I can't imagine you guys don't have an amazing grand opening.
Yeah. We're going to bring in one other friend of mine that helped me open up one of our stores down there. He's coming next week, and I think between the 3 of us, however far along we can get these kids before then.
Yep.
Trial by fire.
How many people do you have scheduled for a grand opening day?
We haven't quite scheduled it yet.
All of them?
Yeah, we'll have everybody at some point. Yeah. 13 plus us, and then plus my other friends. So about 16 people.
That sounds about right.
Plus my entire family is here. So they'll be out directing traffic and waving signs.
Doing the old bend.
Yeah.
I've done that so many times.
Yeah.
The traffic, the parking lot guru at this point.
Hey, you want to come down? We might need an extra parking lot, guys.
Yeah.
Dude, if I could honestly jump up there super quickly and didn't have anything else to do, I would totally jump in and do parking lot. I just like doing it. It's fun. I'm actually going to yell at the customers without actually yelling at them. You're like,
yeah,
move forward. At least up to this point, Jonathan, what's been your biggest, like, didn't see it coming, oh crap issue that you run into, if any?
Right now, just found out Cisco can't get our stuff. So quickly switching vendors, hoping that we can make that work before Friday.
That's a huge old crap.
It's a huge old crap. So working through it, I think we got it mostly figured out. Got US Foods claims they can get us what we need. So we'll see. Told me if he gets it to me by next week, switch over.
And were you using Cisco primarily just for like dry goods?
Milk. I mean, everything. Yeah. We use our chocolate milk as background for our Boca based drinks. That Dairy Bowl, and that's our one thing. And they was the order a month ago, and it's not here. Can't find it. Won't be able to, he says. So adapt and change.
Yeah.
Mr. Rob, fill in your backseat chocolate milks from Walmart.
Yep. That's where we found these so far.
Dude, I have been there, let alone a grand opening, but man, even just a normal day, that's.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You got to find it where you can get it.
Yeah. That's crazy. So Cisco, I mean, so if you already have an account, then are you going to be able to just drop them and move over to the US Foods, or is that?
Yeah. I just basically stop ordering. I mean, unless I'll probably keep them both in the beginning and see who really performs better and be able to compare pricing that way a little bit easier. They both say they'll beat each other. So,
it's actually not a bad idea. Just order from one week, order from the other week, and see who
best, and then show them each other's invoices.
Great idea.
So we've been working through we've been working with Square on some loyalty stuff. And funny thing happened when we went in to customize the loyalty ourselves. We found a way to create, I mean, Ben, I know you have quite a background in Square, but we actually went in and created a specific discount. And then the loyalty program wouldn't set up on our end. And so Jonathan called the Square guys and was working through it. And they're like, guys, we don't know how you did what you did. Can you tell us how you did what you did? So I've always been kind of an advocate for it, but Jonathan, he customized some stamp cards. We're going back to the old fashioned hit them hard and fast route with the stamp card.
I mean, that's the beauty of being small, independent, because if you need to jute, you can jute quick. And you
don't have to ask for permission.
Exactly. I mean, that's the joy of it being your own. So maybe a franchise is you don't have to, like, if you need to jute, to be like, this is what we're going to do. I'm the only person that's to deal with it.
We're definitely looking forward to that part. I think I was either talking to Aaron or Drew. I can't remember, but as much as I disliked now being part of a franchise and what kind of happened at the end of it, don't think 12 years ago I would have been able to go into a drive-through coffee shop and be successful starting out, without the knowledge that we learned. So in that aspect, it was great. And again, awesome having Drew out here and you guys to talk to, and Aaron to kind of get a outside perspective on new stuff, figuring out other systems and how to do different things and just kind of make it smoother, kind of take the best of both worlds. And
I mean, I always refer to even my Drew's time at Roasters. I always say it was like going to university. Like I could have paid to go to school to a 4-year, or, what I did was a little bit longer route. I had 10 or 11 years of university, but I got all the experience that didn't come out, with students.
And you got paid to do it.
But like those first 10 years, I mean, they say it takes 10 years to be an expert at anything. Like once you got that down on your belt, I absolutely agree. If it was me even 4 years ago and they were like, hey, you want to start a coffee shop? I'm like, no, absolutely not.
Takes a lot. There's a lot of moving parts to get.
And it all rests on you.
Start to finish. And then you're never finished.
There's no finish in sight.
Yeah, there's no finish.
As a franchisee, I'm sure you had specific goals and milestones that you wanted to hit and grow the business. As an independent owner, do you have different ideas in mind, different directions for the business, more creative freedom?
Yeah, definitely. I want to make it, I would love to have 3 stores here in town, and eventually, depending on how things go and how smoothly we do this and how successful we are, I'd love to be able to share it with other people. I'd hate to call it franchise, but, essentially franchise and kind of grow with people, kind of keep it how we started when we first started in our last venture. I think we opened our franchise without even a franchise agreement. It was a handshake deal.
Wow.
And obviously I don't think I'd want to do that, but you got to have you got to have your legalities in place, but just keep it friendly and family based. You don't want to see everybody get to where they want to be, rather than taking everything from them.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Who knows what that looks like? It'll change. The vision will change probably 5 times between now and when we get there.
You'll hit those 3 stores and be like, well, maybe 3 more.
I don't necessarily see like an end in sight. There's no end goal really. It's just to keep growing. And if that I'm opening them all and putting people in place to help me and do that, then that's what we do. And we go from 3 here to start selling some off to, had other franchisees in the system we were in before reach out already, like, hey, I might be interested to open one of these somewhere. And I'm like, yeah, let me figure out one first. But definitely looking forward to just growing and maybe think of other things. I learned pretty quickly the last time that not to have all my eggs in one basket, is quickly lose your basket.
Fair. That's very fair.
But had me reeling for quite a while. Like, what do we do next? And this is the one thing I know, one thing I'm good at. I enjoy doing it, so this is where I settled.
Yeah, lean into it. I mean, especially with that many years of it would almost be, a waste to have that many years in something like, well, I mean, I could see it both ways, but man, to be able to have the experience that you have, you're starting so far ahead of anybody else. I mean, it's like around here where we see those mom and pop shops, they pop up and they disappear in 6 months. You go, oh yeah, I had no idea what he was doing.
Thankfully, like I told my brothers and my mom, it's not starting over. We're just restarting. We're starting so far ahead of where we started 12 years ago. And we won't make the same mistakes, make different ones, but we won't make the same mistakes, hopefully twice if we learn from starting with way more experience. I think when we first started out, we were like stoked to get a $500 or $600 a day. And right now, if I started at that, I'd probably cry a little bit at night.
I would expect a little bit more than 500.
I would hope so. I would hope so.
It's almost everybody in this whole town drives by here every day.
Almost.
Yeah. So Great Falls, it's about, I'm guessing, under 100K people.
Yeah, we're like pushing 70 now, I think.
I mean, that's still plenty of room to grow.
Oh yeah, it's not tiny. I mean,
personally, for me, I can appreciate spending my money in a place that is family owned and family operated. I mean, just working now, I've generally most of my content background has been with families and really professional work.
Yeah,
something that's family owned and ran is just a little bit. My experience has been more fulfilling to spend my time there,
and that's essentially what we get from the community here. They claim to not like chains. Every drive-thru in town is packed that day. And they don't like the corporateness. Starbucks, they don't like what they stand for here. It's a very community-based town, which is nice.
Yeah, if you give people a good option, I mean, people are always going to default to like what's easiest, what's around me. If you give them like the ability to make a decision above convenience, okay, what's my next decision making factor? Oh, this is a local guy. I know him. I saw his, kids at the school dance recital. Oh, that's Starbucks. Gross. So it's about giving them another opportunity to make a decision above just convenience. And if you can do that, I think you hit it out of the park.
Yeah. And nobody here has ever heard of a free day. They said nobody does anything for free. So,
you got a bunch of suspicious customers coming by. That's exciting. I'm excited to see. Are you guys going to do any like recording for social media or live streaming or anything?
I don't know what we'll do. I think Drew and I may be pretty occupied in here day one. I think we're looking for somebody to come do some drone work, and do a short video for us on grand opening day.
Yeah, I mean, just at least even something to look back on. Because I look back on some of our old grand openings. I'm just like, how did do that? Like,
shotgun and Red Bulls.
Yeah.
How was it finding employees or new baristas? Did it seem pretty simple to pick up employees? You guys have to really dig?
Not really at all. I posted on Facebook and Instagram and boosted the posts, and I probably had hundreds of messages. Not all great, but we got a great team, I think, so far, and they're still coming in, still messages. So,
wow,
probably still find a couple more. And the other thing I did was I set our starting wage at $13 an hour, which minimum wage here is $9.75.
Wow.
No, some of our employees have been stuck at that for a year or more. So they're pretty excited to get over here and make a little bit more money and make some tips and have a fun place to be. So,
I mean, if I was there, just the $13 alone would have got me, I was like,
right.
I was going to work at the coffee shop.
That's great wage. Well, what's interesting to me, what I found is, you guys were working in California. And so probably a lot of these businesses don't have a lot of contrast as far as wages go and treating a baristas go. And so when you come up and like $9, $13 and all that crazy based on California, these kids, they're all really happy to be here.
Our drink prices are pretty close to the same as they were there. I mean, and we're competitive with everybody down the street. So, I mean, starting wage, like a real decent starting wage, is not that hard to do. So I think it's fair. I wouldn't want to start anybody at $9.75. I just couldn't imagine trying to even make it on that myself. So
I'm trying to think the last time I made $9.75. I mean, here in Washington, that was 2001, 2002.
I was working when when I first started roasters, 2015, I made $940.
Yeah.
It's not that long ago.
So you have employees hired, employees trained. You have a product swap, product in training, and product hopefully going to be there. Are there any hurdles left before grand opening, or is it just training until then? I was going to say you've got paint on the walls, so you're a lot farther ahead than a lot of the other grand openings me and Drew have been a part of.
Our very last one, the day before our grand opening, got our final inspection, and our handicap, the ADA parking spot was about 1 degree off on slope. So we had to cut it out and redo it before they'd sign off. They just walked through and said, "Great.
Good job."
We also ran into some snags with getting your syrups too.
Yeah. So Cisco here claimed that they can't buy direct from Tirani. So they had to buy it from a place called Green Dot or something like that. And Green Dot was going to charge them $7.50 bottle. So Cisco would have to charge me about $9.50 bottle.
For syrup?
For syrup. Yeah.
Regular old Tirani syrup.
So we found a little tiny restaurant supply store that we buying our equipment from. They said, we can get Tirani's. So we're at about $5.95 a bottle.
That's so great. I love those connections. Like if you can find that connection that's not the Cisco or the FSA, like those mom and pop distributors will bend over backwards to get you what you need. So
we kind of stumbled upon them too. We just right across from our daughter's preschool. And I was like, oh, there's a restaurant supply store there. And so they sourced our machines and all that stuff for us. So we're having a heck of a time finding a Longware's Open dealer. They won't sell direct to customers. So got lucky to find the connections fairly quick when we got here.
That's awesome. I mean, it just goes to show, I mean, if you can do it in Great Falls where there's next to no coffee scene, I mean, you can do it anywhere. Like, find those connections. You just got to dig a little bit.
You know, the one thing that gave me confidence was the company we were part of before opened a new store in a very small town in Texas. It was had 10,000 people that lived in it, but there was, I think, high traffic flow through the town. Never heard of them before, never been to one. And they started out doing $6,000, $7,000 days. You know, if they can do it, I can do it. I mean, I know all the tricks that they know.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, you've got all the tools. You've got Drew. I have a feeling you guys will have no lack of cars in your drive-through lane.
Yeah, I have that feeling.
But
a stressful feeling at the same time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Anxious, but stressful, but good. At the end of the day, when you go back and count how many drinks you put out the window, you feel pretty dang good about it.
Yeah. We pumping them out all day long.
Well, thanks for joining the Coffee Experts Club. If you're in Montana and you're on Great Falls, stop in and get a free drink of coffee. Thanks a lot, Jonathan. Best of luck. I mean, I know you guys are going to kill it anyways.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh yeah.
I think we got it.
We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us today. For those of you who are looking to become a coffee expert yourself, we offer an incredible, thorough training online for opening your first coffee drive-thru at www.myfirstdrivethru.coffee.